Good morning. How are you doing today? This is the 5 a.m. Master Scrum Show, and I am Greg Master, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. I got my WordPress T-shirt on. That's what that is. I forgot what he is. He's cute though. From years ago, doing a WordPress conference, and this is the 5 a.m. Master Scrum Show, and we are talking Scrum and Agile. But today we're going to talk about micro versus macro changes and just kind of throw that about a little bit in concepts for continuous improvement. And that's going to talk about today show. And it's about 7:30. This is our 578th episode. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way. So this is kind of practical and tactical, the topic. So we can bring value to the customer, do it without working crazy hours, get home to family and friends, have fun at work and at home. And that's why we do the show. And I was perplexed the other day. Someone's asked me about, they wanted to make a change and figure out new software and everything. And they're like, oh, well, we have this other group outside the group doing it. So I'm going to kind of talk about that a little bit and how that influences decisions, right? So micro versus macro. What's a micro change? A micro change is something small, maybe within a team. Macro change, maybe something you do across the whole entity, right? And this is gonna be short word because I just got the one topic on this. Here's your challenge, right? Challenge is, if your organization typically says, well, that group over there will figure out whether or not we want to do this and how we want to do it and all the play, and then our group won't do it. We don't let the masses of teams do it. There is some advantages to that, and there's some disadvantages. Some advantages are maybe just before you get everybody involved on something that they really don't want or doesn't work, then you don't waste that time on it. You just waste a couple people's time on it. Okay. That's something. But what does that tell the teams? What does it tell your teams about self-organization and coming up with ideas and solutions on them? It tells them it's somebody else's job. Think about it. If you got a group over there and they say, well, that group over there is investigating whether to do automated tests, or that group over there is investigating whether we should use this new UX software, or that group over there is investigating whether or not we should improve our process, basically is what you're saying in essence. Aren't you basically telling the people to get away with saying it's not our job, it's someone else's job, so we won't try to improve? Just there. It's just something that you put out there. It says, well, we don't need to improve because they got other people to do it, so why do we do it? Can that defeat the purpose of the continuous improvement model? I'm just saying, it's a challenge, a quandary, or whatever, that you may want to think about for your organization and your group. By doing that, are you in essence telling everybody that they don't need to improve? Or, I mean, you may say, well, we'll improve in other areas, but maybe that's the fun one, right? So maybe the fun one is, how do we automate this process? I don't know. As a developer, I would think that would be fun. I would be fascinated by developing code and automating a process and figuring out how to make the computer do the stuff I used to do manually. To me, that would be fun. So now you're telling somebody else. Now you're telling your team that's not your job. You are going to create. I mean, what do you think? You think you're not going to create all kinds of other issues down the road and the constant excuses of why they can't do something? Well, that's someone else's job. Well, I'm not in charge of the environment. Well, it's just what it is, and I can't fix anything else. So why bother making stubs? Why bother making, engines to automate the testing with APIs and stuff like that? Why bother, right? So I'm just saying, it's something to think about when you have these teams, when you say that. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone volunteering on your team to develop a process, because you share the team, hey, I would really like to do that. And the team says, okay, cool, that sounds like a good idea. Why don't you do that? I mean, but that's in the team. Where if you have an external team do all that work for you and don't give you any controls, then they kind of defeat that. Just saying, just sharing that with you as a thought. It's what I had today, the micro versus the macro. Micro is letting the teams go investigate and help control their own destiny and self-organize. Macro is no, we don't let the teams do it. We're going to come up with a corporate-wide solution that we're going to pass, and it's going to take 2 years to do it. Something to think about today. On Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. We'll do Fortune Cookie Friday tomorrow. And if you like the show, please give us a thumbs up. Sometimes we get a little thought process. Ring the bell. Remember, tactical-wise, you're going to be fighting this for the rest of your darn time if you don't allow them to come up with some interesting improvements and do it their own. And if you keep telling them some other groups got that under control, they're going to be like, well, someone else got that. I don't need to do it. It's fact, man. Just telling you the truth. No one tells you this stuff, but that's the truth. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy your Thursday. Happy scrumming. And we will see you tomorrow. And bye.